New, simpler, and easier iron farm for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. This is designed to be the easiest iron farm you can build that takes the least amount of time, meaning it's perfect for a new world. You can build it anywhere you want, including in a village or directly into the ground, so it only takes a couple stacks of blocks, and it even comes with a trading hall underneath that you can use to get tons of emeralds and great trades, and it has a tiny villager breeder to help you get more villagers and max iron rates. And let's check out the iron farm. So this is the entire thing right here. As you can see, all the golems spawn right in the middle. We have this thing built in the middle of a village, so you don't have to move your villagers very far. If we head down below, as you can see, we have ourselves the iron collection down here, and you get a ton of iron, poppies, and string from this thing. You can compost the poppies down into bone meal, by the way. We also have a full villager trading hall down here, and I would recommend that you get a bunch of these smithing type of villagers. That way you can trade a ton of iron to these guys and get a ton of emeralds super easily. As you can see, you can have basically as many villagers down here as you want, and all of the beds for the farm are also down here as well. We also have a small villager breeder in the corner that you can set up just to get yourself enough villagers to actually build up the farm, and as you can see, all the guys are just down here chilling. Setting up a villager trading hall underneath your iron farm is definitely a good way to go, because then you can get some amazing villagers like this guy who has mending for 12 emeralds. And once you're done breeding up all your villagers, of course, you can just remove this temporary breeder, and you can build this farm anywhere you want. I've built it directly into the ground. That's the cheapest way to go, but you can build it underground if you want. You can build it up in the air. You can build it over an ocean or a river, and that'll even give you some additional drops like squid or drowned. So this iron farm gives you the standard Bedrock Edition rates of about 330 to 350 iron per hour. Basically, all iron farms give you about the same rates, but this one is super easy to build. If you've seen old Bedrock iron farms with 2 spawning floors, you might wonder why this one only has 1 platform, and that's because they actually changed it. So golems only spawn on 1 platform now. Adding a second one won't do anything. This actually reduced the rates of all iron farms on Bedrock, but the farms still work great. If you want to make your farm a little bit better, you need to add more villagers. So you need at least 10 villagers just to get the farm working. That'll give you 1 golem at a time. If you have 20 villagers, then you can have up to 2 golems at a time, and that's basically where you should stop. But of course, this one has a lot of room for a trading hall down below, so you can actually add like 30 villagers down here, and that can give you up to 3 golems at a time, which will slightly increase your rates. Also, this farm does work with fire tick turned on Bedrock. Signs do not catch on fire or burn down. As you can see, we have fire tick turned on, and it's set to a really high tick speed right now. Also, keep in mind that on Bedrock Edition, zombies do not impact your iron farms at all. They are not required in any way, shape, or form, so you can completely ignore zombies. The only thing zombies are good for on Bedrock Edition is actually zombifying your villagers. That way you can cure them and get better trading deals. If you like these kinds of super easy Minecraft tutorials, then drop a like, subscribe, and share around the video. That way other people can use this super easy build. But let's hop into the tutorial. Everything that you're going to need for this iron farm is in my inventory. So you're going to need a couple of chests, some hoppers, and a campfire to kill the golems, some signs, lava, and at least 10 workstations. You're also going to need a couple dozen trapdoors, an infinite water source, a couple stacks of blocks, over a stack of leaves. You'll also need a minimum of 20 beds, and then you might also want some rail and some powered rail and a minecart to actually move around your villagers, or you can just use a boat and some leads. And optionally, you might also need some slabs, torches, some string, and a lightning rod. I'm going to be building my iron farm directly in the middle of this village right here, but you can build it absolutely anywhere you want in the Minecraft world. Keep in mind that you need to be within about 40 blocks of your iron farm for it to actually spawn iron golems, so it's best to put it like right around the center of your base or something. So you're looking for a nice flat area to actually build up your farm. It's going to be a 19 wide by 19 long farm. We're going to be going a couple blocks beneath the ground, and it's also going to be going a couple of blocks above the ground as well. So make sure you have ample space before you start building. You don't want to build this on like the side of a mountain or something, because then your golems might spawn in weird places and you don't have to like spawn proof it. So go ahead and pick where you want the middle of your farm to be. You do not need to chunk align this build. If you know what that is, don't worry about it. So I'm just going to pick this as the very middle spot of our build. And now you want to decide which side you want the entrance of your build to be on. I want my entrance to be over there, so we're going to mine this by another block going in that direction. We're going to place a double chest at the very bottom right there. Go ahead and crouch and place in yourself a hopper and then a campfire above that. Now we're just going to go ahead and crouch and place in another couple of signs directly above this real quick, just to get rid of the smoke. So now we need to install the walls of our build, so we need to count out by 9 blocks. So this is 1 block right here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That should be lined up with your middle campfire. And now we need to do that on all 4 sides. So on this side, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Put another block right there lined up in the middle, and now do that on the other 2 sides as well. So those are our 4 blocks in place, and that is the full size of this farm. So now go to each one of your blocks, and we need to place in another 8 blocks to either side of them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then just do that for all of these, and they should just line up right on the corners to build one big square. And that's basically what it should look like. And now you need to put a layer of leaves on top of all of those blocks. And by the way, if you want to build this floating up in the air, then you're just going to build up yourself a 17 by 17 square platform of solid blocks. They can even be upper slabs, but the entire rest of the farm is going to be the same no matter what you're doing or where you're building. So this is the full size of our iron farm. So now we're going to go ahead and make in the entrance right here and basically just mine out yourself a little bit of a staircase. Go underneath the layer of the dirt and you should find your double chest right here in the middle. If you want to, now is a great time to go ahead and mine out this entire area. And once you find your middle hopper, you just need to go 8 blocks in every direction from that. And this is basically like the full size room that you would have for a full trading hall. And if you think you might want to replace this roof with a layer of blocks, then now is also the time to do that. That way there's no like water in place. To finish up the top of the build, go to the middle and we're going to install our lava to kill the golems. So you just need to crouch and place in a sign on all 4 sides of this top sign right here. And then get up a block, continue crouching, and then place in another sign right on top of it. So it's like this. And of course, do that on all 4 sides. And that's what it should look like once you have all of your signs in place. Now you'll need to go ahead and crouch and then place in yourself a lava bucket right there to kill all of your golems. To install water around the edges of the farm, you want to go to each corner of the build, place in a solid block, and then a water source up on that corner. Once all 4 corners are in, it should look something like this. And now you want to grab yourself another couple water buckets, and you want to skip placing a water source right here. Do not place one right there. It will flood your entire platform. You want to place one right here, and then skip a block and place another one right here. Now, this is actually an infinite water source in the middle that you can pull more water buckets from. So just keep placing these in every other block until you reach the far side of the build. Do not place one right here or right here, and then just do this going all the way around the build. Once all of your water is in place properly, go ahead and remove these solid blocks in each corner of the build. And now it's time to round up your villagers. So if you're building this in a village, you need to go to every single house in the village. You need to check it for beds, remove every single bed and every single workstation that you can find. And then you need to start trapping your villagers and bringing them into your iron farm area. There can even be workstations outside, like in the crop beds, so you'll need to remove these as well. The easiest way to move villagers is just to get them in a boat and then use a lead, and then you can just drag them around. Now, if you need to build a little villager breeder, what you need to do is capture 2 of your villagers down here underneath your iron farm. You just want them to be in a little area like this. You can use a nitwit, that's perfectly fine. Building up this villager breeder is actually really easy, so once you have this kind of setup, just go ahead and put in a block to either side like this. We need a couple of trapdoors right here to stop the babies from getting out. Go around to this side. We're going to put in ourselves a couple of solid blocks right here. Remove these 2 solid blocks, and then we just need to give ourselves some guardrails right here and build them up like this. Now go ahead and mine out yourself a 2x2 going downwards. We're going to put in a couple of slabs, that way no golems spawn down there. You actually want to mine out this hole going downwards by 3 blocks and then put the slabs at the bottom of it. And then you need yourself in a sign right here and another sign right here, and then just go ahead and place in yourself a water bucket underneath each one of those villagers. So you want your villagers on either side, they'll breed, the baby will pop up in between them and then fall out the backside and go down into the hole. So as of right now, you should have your villagers from your village down here. They're probably in some boats or some mine carts, and now we can actually start installing the beds for your iron farm. This is really easy. We're going to install them all around the center of your chest right here. So you need to place in a temporary platform of 10 solid blocks right here. We're going to place in 5 beds right above that. Remove these blocks right here underneath them, and then place in another 5 beds. So that's 10 on this side and then do the same exact deal on this side right here, and that is a total of 20. That is all you need to actually get the iron farm working. If you need to, you can come around the back side of the build and actually place in another 2 beds right here. Now, it's very important that you have at least 20 beds. Your iron farm will not work if you have less than 20, and you cannot have more villagers than beds. So if you have 21 villagers and 20 beds, your iron farm will never work. Every villager needs to have a bed. Now, if you need to, you can actually add even more to this simply by mining out a couple blocks underneath these things, and then you can just add in another layer of beds down here. So by adding another layer going downwards, you can add another 11 beds to this. Now, assuming that you have more beds than there are villagers, then you can actually start having a villager breeder going. So what you want to do is you want to throw some food into this corner right here. It can be any form of crop, carrots, potatoes, but bread also works, and then throw some other food into this corner. That way, both of the villagers pick up their own food. There you go. We get hearts basically immediately, and as you can see, we got ourselves a villager, and he just like popped out to the side, and now he is down here. Now, if your villager is stuck in the middle like this, and you can't quite get between them, then you may need to actually like punch one of your villagers just to get them near the edges, and then as you can see, boom, the villager just goes right on through. It's fine if the baby gets stuck in there for like, you know, a couple seconds or whatever. Now, to actually get the baby villagers out of this hole right here, what you want to do is put a like water bucket into the corner. That'll push them all into this corner right here, and then you simply have yourself in like a piece of powered rail down by a couple blocks, and then a little ramp of rail. You can just leave in yourself a minecart right here, and then the babies will get pushed into the corner, touch that minecart, and get right into it. Now, ideally, you should just wait for these guys to grow up before you get them out of the hole, but it takes 20 minutes for them to actually grow up. So now it's time to get your villagers into some actual villager trading cells. So if you line yourself up with like the middle of your farm with that hopper right there, then you can start building up just some little 1x1 cells going all the way across this thing. Really easy. We're not going to have any guys in the corner, so you can just go ahead and fill that in. That way nothing spawns back there. So this is the basics of the cell. You're going to have a trapdoor at the top right here. This lets you walk in there really easily, but the villager can't actually walk out. And then when you have a workstation in front of this, you can flick it down. That way baby zombies can't get in there. So this is basically what each one of your villager cells is going to look like, going all the way around, as many as you want, really. Now, the easiest way to actually get villagers in there is to use a minecart and a couple of rails. So that's what I'll be showing. But if you get them out of your boats, you can simply just like have a minecart right here ready to go, get that guy in there, and then just like kind of nudge him on there. Don't put a rail inside of the actual cell itself, because once you get the cart in there, you can simply go ahead and punch that cart out with a tool or something. That'll break the cart, and now your guy is ready to go. So go ahead and build up as many cells as you want. Again, you need at least 10 villagers to actually get iron golems. Once you have your villagers grown up and you've put them in their cells, and now it's time to actually link them to a workstation. 75% of your villagers have to work in order for the iron farm to actually spawn golems. So what you want to do is you want to just go ahead and place down a workstation, and then this is easiest if they don't have any professions, but basically you can just see which one actually links to it. They'll always have these like green particles, but just go ahead and do this one at a time. So now this guy is linked to this workstation right here. You place down another one, see which one links to it. It was this guy right here. So it's a bit tedious, and it can be kind of difficult to see which one actually links to them. Now keep in mind that your villagers over here, your babies, may have grown up, and one of them could be linking. You could also have a random villager somewhere else that you haven't found that's stealing the job, or your 2 villagers right here could also be linking as well. And if you want to like keep these guys in here, then just like give them a workstation at some point, and they could just be like either right here is fine or right here is fine. Obviously this is a nitwit, but if he wasn't, then he should be linked to the workstation that goes right there. And keep in mind, if you have a ton of babies, all these guys count as unemployed, so it might mean that you have less than 75% of your villagers who have actually worked, so you might need to wait for them to grow up and then give them a job. And as you can see, we even got 2 golems spawning because we have 20 villagers and all of our guys are working. Now, if we had 30 beds and 30 villagers, then we could get even 3 golems at a time. Now, when it comes to making your trading hall actually good, what you want to do is re-roll these guys basically like one at a time. So we just like temporarily linked them to a workstation. So now if we like break this one, this guy is always going to unlink, and the next workstation we put down, he's always going to link to. So this makes it really easy to re-roll his trades, and I actually have an entire video dedicated to how to get you the best villager trades in Minecraft. It's linked down below. Go watch it. You need it. it's good. Now, if you want to make the area in here a little bit taller, because 2 blocks tall is kind of oppressive, then you'll need to make sure that the floor is spawn-proofed. So you can either lower this down and have it be all lower slabs like this to give you a bit more room, or you could have it be carpets on the floor. You just need to do something to make sure that iron golems don't spawn in this 3-block tall area. You could also just use leaves or glass in the floor to spawn-proof it. So what if you want to build multiple iron farms right next to each other? Like have one right there and have another one right there. Well, you can't. It's not that easy. Bedrock Edition doesn't have fun things. Stacking iron farms is not for the faint of heart, so just build the one and be happy with it. I do have some troubleshooting tips for you. So if you're building in a cold biome, for example, then your water might be freezing. You can either go ahead and put some string inside of all of your water sources, or an easier thing to do might just be put a bunch of torches around the outside edges of this, and that should be enough light to actually stop this from freezing. Now, you might also have snow building up on top of your leaves, and eventually the golems will spawn on top of that snow, so you might need to put some more string right here. And also, in general, it's just a great idea to put down a lightning rod somewhere in the area. That way, lightning doesn't strike your build, burn it down, or convert your villagers into witches. Now, if you have iron golems spawning on the outside edges or somewhere random, that means that you have another bed in the area. Go search all these buildings again and remove absolutely every single bed. And if your golems are still spawning outside of your farm, even though you've removed absolutely every bed in the area, then you might just need to spawn proof. There's a few different ways to spawn proof. You can either put down leaves within a couple block radius going around your farm, or you can use something like buttons or some lower slabs, or you can simply just turn all this stuff into path blocks. You shouldn't need to spawn proof very far around the edges. They only spawn within a few blocks of the beds. Now, if you've done absolutely everything as shown and you're still not getting golems, you have your 10 or 20 villagers, every single villager has a bed, every single villager is working, then I'm gonna direct you to my troubleshooting video on how to fix iron farms. They are unreasonably complicated on Bedrock Edition, so I have a video for you with a whole bunch of different troubleshooting tips, again, linked absolutely everywhere. But as long as you followed the guidance in this video, it should just work. If this farm worked out well for you, then let us know with a comment down below, and while you're down there, drop a like on this video and subscribe for more tutorials, and thank you so much for watching.